I'll cut all this bit off anyway. Nice that your brother's got one. Does he like it? So, wow. I went live before and for some reason people couldn't hear it. Hopefully it holds on to the sound this time. Or audio. No, Model Y, very nice car. You can get a rear wheel drive. You can get the dual motor, which is all-wheel drive. You can also get the performance as well. Apologies for that. I don't quite know how many of you couldn't hear me, but I was doing megaphone and all types of things. With a bit of luck, we've remedied it. I will delete the 1 minute 40 crap of me screaming at the phone and looking at myself and going, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So hopefully you can all hear. And the comments are rolling in on the... Wow, okay. I need to turn off notifications when I go live. Little dumb like that. So, yeah, very impressive SUV. And in 2023, it was the best-selling globally. And that's an EV. See, if you put that into context, there's definitely a market there for the electric vehicle. Yeah, I know we don't all love them. But if you want to love one, this is it. It's dynamic, it's cool, it's roomy, it's practical. And it's got all that tech you need as well. And yes, no cluster. That may alarm a couple of people. But as soon as you've got in it, you've I don't know, related to it, and it's all very straightforward. I mean, you can see your speedo and that kind of thing in there. Also, you can use your smart key, which is literally on your phone. So when you come up to it, keyless entry. Otherwise, you just swipe down here with the backup keys, which are somewhere. There. So they're in here. Comfortable, supportive seats and fully electric. And you can go for a white interior. But with this roof, I don't think you really need to. It is massive. It's like walking into that tunnel at SeaWorld. And yes, everything works through the screen. But it doesn't take that long to get used to it, which is nice. Full of soft materials, and I do love the minimalist looks. 2 stalks, you've got one for your wiper and one to put it in drive. 2 pedal system, and all that jazz. Let's have a look in the back. I would have liked to have those present themselves when you walk up to the car. But, you know, it's scraping the bottom of the barrel. Reclining seats, mega legroom. And the phone's decided to, yeah, there we go, it's better. When you drop the seats, it gets pretty big. I think it's about 2,000 litres. This folds up, and you've got mega storage no matter where you look. Check that. Little pockets and pretty deep boot. I mean, there's obviously a full review on the way. And after this, we're heading down to Manchester. So we'll do a mini road trip. And then we're heading down south. Make of that what you will. I love the design. I also love this colour scheme. It's got such flowing lines. The other thing is, it's not typical SUV. You know, it's definitely coupe-esque, if you will. 20-inch wheels. And this pulls 0 to 60 in about 5.4. Range up to 330 miles. Take it into the city, it'll increase, floor it, and it'll decrease. Same with cold, etc., etc. Thing is, when I was driving this back from Manchester doing, let's say, motorway speeds, it wasn't guzzling range. I don't know, it's the most non-electric feeling car you've been in because there's no range anxiety with it. It's remarkable. You can really see why it became the #1 in the world. Things like the over-the-air updates. If this had the technology for, say, matrix lights, and it does, they're adaptive, etc., LED, blah, blah, blah. But if it had the technology but didn't actually have the firmware update, you could roll that out over the air updates. So you can advance your car at any moment. You can upgrade it in the app. And yes, there is an app. Cameras, sensors, you name it. It's even got Tesla vision. Hopefully it's holding on to the sound this time, and I'm not just like benignly wandering around wobbling the camera. Right, there we go. Let's look at the front, and yes, it has one. And this is the plantage bit. Ta-da! Gives you some context of how big it is. Just very straightforward. Anyway, let's take a deeper look at the operating centre. I could say system, but to be honest, it's the centre of the car. Lovely. Comfortable buckety seats. And this is vegan leather too. Twin chargers, storage pots, deep. And it's got to be the most minimalist vehicle ever, hasn't it? So you can open things like your bonnet, and you can also close your boot from here as well. Very cool. And yes, it has safety modes, etc, etc. If I go into here, you can see things like dog mode. So then it'll display something along the lines of, I'm a happy dog, it's all good, don't worry about me, please don't smash my window. Same with camp mode. So when you enable camp mode, it means that you can lay that out flat, essentially get a bed in if you're not too tall. And then it will use minimal power, but it'll still allow you to use things like air conditioning and USB points. And then you've got just like your normal, fans and such. Biohazard mode, heated seats, and I'm sure the other day Duncan managed to find the rear heated seats. I'll have to have a proper look. He showed me an image the other day, and I'm sure it illuminated the whole rear bench. But yeah, I'll speak more about that in the review. If we go into here, you've got your controls. So, very straightforward. You set your mirrors, your steering. Now, steering's a clever one. I can go up and down and back and forth by using this, which map it. That's pretty cool. Restore. There we go. Don't want to break the steering wheel for me. And you've got like recording, and I like this. And you can actually activate a pin. So very James Bond. Tomorrow Never Dies. Get your Walther PPK in there. And that digital satellite type reader thing that he nicks off Elliot Carver. Dynamics. So acceleration, you don't have driving modes per se. You'll have chill and standard. So you put it in standard and you've got the fast acceleration. Put it in chill and it'll just lessen everything off. Steering weight, stopping modes, you can have it in one pedal mode essentially. But the thing that really sticks out about this is the weight of it naturally. It's regen. So there's no paddles or anything like that. You just jump in this car and drive it, and essentially it adapts to you. Just set which standard you want, and then that's it. Charging, we've got 234 miles of range. And if you've noticed, it's, 77%, something like that. If I press this, you'll see it's 72%. So it shows you how much more we would get. You've got autopilot, and this is full of beta systems and all types of things. I'll go more into detail of that in the review. But then you've got locks, lights, so you can see smart keys, and then you can set your lights and display. That's good. Reduce blue light. Trips, details everything. Navigation, yada, yada, yada. And then you've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc. If I go into Toy Box, I've got this. Now, this is awesome. Hello, Ben. I'm here. I'm sat in the car. Welcome to Play Order. See, that's cool. Turn it off before I make a fool of myself. Too late. Light show, romance mode. Yeah. Santa, Rainbow Road, very Mario. And then if you go into here and go into things like Toy Box. That was Toy Box, silly me. That's a shortcut. What else have we got? So you got all these other shortcuts as well. You've got shortcuts for your defrosters and heat, this, that, and the other. Spotify and other types of things. It's fully equipped. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail. Too late. But yeah, watch the full review and we'll show you exactly what this car's made of. And I think that's it. Thank you for joining me. And hopefully you could all hear it throughout. Oh, one last thing. The sound system is immense. It's arguably the best I've ever heard in a car. Mind you, Tesla used to make sound systems, so not really surprising. But the bass, it keeps up with sub-competition, you know, like Rockford Fosgate, that kind of thing, Alpine back in the day. It's got that deep bass. I can't remember what hertz it is, but it's enough to make the seat go, which you don't normally get, even when you have a sound system that, you know, has subs in the boot. That's standard. Right, if you've got any questions, want me to include anything in the review, please add. I think this can also tow 2,600 kilos, which is, yeah, pretty damn good. Right, there you have it. We'll be setting off to Manchester soon and then heading down south. As I said before, make of that what you will. We may be looking at some brand new cars, launches, and that kind of thing on Thursday. Wonder where that'll be. Anyway, have a great day, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.